Back to that Kevin Show with Kevin McCullough.
All right, final few minutes with Sam Sorbo, and then back to the music spotlight stage with Zach and Maggie White, live from Nashville. Great to have you with us, Sam. Thank you for being so generous with your time. The idea that faith matters is something that this documentary explores. And I asked you if it was more fun shooting in Israel. I understand why. But what was the strategic advantage of being in Israel? What were some of the experiences that you had? Tell me a little bit about what we're going to experience when we watch it.
Oh, yeah, because that is, I mean, Israel is the star of the show, right? And the historiosity that is there, just extant, just right there and at your foot, at your feet. And so that really is the foundation of the whole thing, is that you're walking in the footsteps of Jesus and you're experiencing it for yourself. And that does come across in the documentary, even though you're not actually there, because you're sort of living vicariously through the people who are part and parcel of the documentary. You actually get some of that experience as well. So I think that that's really what makes the documentary so moving for people, is that they feel like they've experienced, to a small degree, what they would experience if they actually went to Israel. And I've talked to a lot of people who have never been to Israel, but after they've seen the documentary, they say, I feel like I was almost there, and it's meaningful.
Yeah.
It does change you as a person, because you say you believe something, but even, we had doubting Thomas, right? And what did he do? He actually touched the hands of Jesus. He touched the holes because he needed to experience it viscerally. And I think that that's really what happened to us in Israel as a group. And then what we did, because we were doing the documentary, we met with everybody in the evening after the day, and we, not every day, but several times over the course of the 11 days. And we talked about how we were moved by what we had seen.
I think that debrief is really important, because you got to verbalize it too. I've led 4 trips to Israel, and I would love to take more listeners back. I want to ask you though specifically about your kids. What was it like watching your kids go through this experience? I'm assuming for them the first time as well.
Oh yeah, it was the first time for them. And they had some friends on the trip, which was very cool. Friends that they had made on the trip. And so we had, I can't remember, 10 or 12 teens that were experiencing Israel for the first time. And so they also had their own sort of friend group going through the experience. And you're right, the debrief is almost as important, because you need to clarify for yourself and put into words. And then when other people put it into words, you get a different perspective on, or maybe you realize a different perspective on what you've experienced. And so I watched my kids grow in their faith. They've always been strong Christians. I mean, I've raised them that way. They're more fervent than I am, to a certain degree, like in certain ways, I would say. And so to watch them experience Israel, and then, we baptized in the Jordan River. Their dad baptized them. That was pretty profound.
Yeah,
and very moving.
We didn't have a pastor on my final trip that I took. This was a couple of years before COVID, and having attended Moody and been ordained and been in ministry a long time, but not having had a church or ever a pastor of any sort, I just didn't think of myself as being qualified. But we needed somebody to do all the baptisms for our trip, so I baptized everybody on my bus, which was kind of fun at the end of the day. So last question about the movie, though. Irreligious Nation, you start from this premise that there's this exchange of faith. It's not an absence of faith. It's exchanging one worldview, one faith for another. What do you hope people take away from the documentary, and why should people suggest their friends watch it?
I hope that they understand that it's a binary choice. You're either in or you're not. Like you either believe this way or you will believe a different way, and the other way is not the
for the
right
world?
way.
No, I think religion just pisses people off.
For me, it's like an invention for manipulate the public.
I think it only caused troubles and war.
Maybe
Wars and stuff, you know? Like, for example, what happens with ISIS.
Our fight in this world is not against Islam, it's against religion.
And you are an atheist?
I am, yeah.
And what do you think of the fact that it's a movement that's gaining credibility as of late?
I think it's about time.
Why are we losing our religion?
We're here on a journey to discover, should we be paying any attention to faith? If God exists, is he even relevant today?
Or is God an obsolete story that people have simply used to derive meaning in their own lives? We are tired of being duped.
Fake news. Our reality has become increasingly shaped by false information.
Who's telling the truth? Mixed information.
Beaten down by a barrage of information, not knowing what, if any, information is reliable.
You may need to go to church on Sunday. You may need to read the Bible. But I know right from wrong.
We're going to travel throughout Israel and look at the history here and look at the faith here and try to discover some answers. Is faith important?
Is there such a thing as objective truth? Or is it true to simply say that everyone has their own truth?
So these people who say, I don't need faith, I can be a good person, can they?
Sam, thank you for doing this. Thank you for making it accessible to others and for following God's leading in it. I think it's going to be a huge tool for people.
Kevin, thank you so much. I hope that you're right in that, and God bless you.
And give my best to Hercules. Hercules! Coming right back from New York, Zach and Maggie are back with us. Stay here.
Ready or not, he'll be right back. That Kevin.